Hey guys, welcome to Lutapod, the podcast that proves sport isn't just for the boys.
That's right, we're here to laugh, run, or maybe even inspired to pick up a book. Or not, no pressure.
I'm Szilvia.
I'm Aniqa.
Woman in sport.
Say less, we're already here.
Welcome back to Lutapod.
So, you might be wondering, what is Lutapod? Lutapod is a sport for young women and girls to share their sport journeys, whether it's the high, the low, or the funny bits in between.
Each week, we bring in a very special guest to keep it real and to remind everyone of the females in sport. This week, we brought in a very special guest for you.
Very special, guys.
We have brought in professional boxer,
7 wins in a row, Dee Allen!
Thank you, guys. Thanks for the introduction. Really appreciate it.
Okay, so we're gonna go straight to the icebreaker. So, who was the first person you called after your first fight?
and why?
After my first, what, in amateurs or pros?
I guess first fight ever.
I didn't necessarily call anyone. My mum was there, but the first person I went straight to was my mum.
Slit.
Yeah, I had to give her, because she was so nervous, just as nervous as I was before my first fight. So I just had to kind of just go to her, make sure she knew that I was all right and everything like that. But I think once she saw me box in the ring, she kind of knew that I could handle myself. So she relaxed after that anyway.
How did you feel? Was it like a surreal moment after you won? Like, did you believe it?
I think my first amateur fight, I won it, but I didn't because it got the decision got turned against me, kind of thing. It was a home show, but the judges and my opponent's coach was like, that you won that fight, but it went against me. But it just kind of motivated me to keep going, really.
Okay.
She was like a comfort person you went to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about your journey in sport and where it all started.
Why don't we just start off with introducing yourself?
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. All right, so I'm Dee Allen. My full name is Dee Allen. I go by Dee Allen in the boxing world. I'm 34. I've had, I think, 34 amateur fights and now 7 pro fights. Been boxing for 18 years, and initially I started it as a hobby, but it's turned into a career now.
Okay. When did you start as your hobby?
16.
16, damn.
Yeah.
Okay, would you mind if I ask you how old are you now?
I'm 34 now. So
Okay.
it's been 18 years.
Say.
This January was 18 years that I've been boxing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That's really impressive, to be honest. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Well,
now we can move on to the first question. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey in sport and where it all started?
Yeah, it's I've always been quite active in sport since I was young. I'm part of a big family. I've got 5 brothers and 3 sisters. So for my mum, it was just kind of put all of us in sport, tire us out. By the end of the day, come home, just go to bed kind of thing. So I've done swimming, football, basketball, like a load of different sports up until about 16 years old, and athletics. And then when I got to 16 and I found boxing, I locked off everything, and boxing was just the one, and I've just focused on that ever since.
Okay.
So, tell us more about your boxing journey, like from 16, right?
Yeah.
16 up till now.
Yeah.
How was it?
So when I was 16, initially when I started, I was almost 15 stone, and quite angry. So I was in anger management at the time, and my anger management therapist suggested that I do boxing because it could deal with both. So I'd done it for about a year initially just to lose weight and, like I said, for the discipline of it. And then I realised I actually really, really, really enjoyed it. So for a year, I just spent just training, lost 5 stone, and then I just wanted to fight. But there wasn't really much in the UK on the fight scene for female boxing at the time. So I then trained for another 3 years, for 4 years in total before I actually had my first fight.
Oh,
Yeah, that was,
crazy.
but I just stayed there. So yeah, so I had my first fight at 16, 17, 18, about 20.
20.
I actually had my first amateur fight, but I walked into the gym at 16.
So you didn't always want to be a boxer. It was kind of like you were doing
You just
a lot
want to
of
lose your weight
different
first.
Yeah, when I was younger, I was doing a lot of sport until I got to 16. And then after 1 year of boxing, that's when I realised I really, really enjoy boxing and I want to pursue it. But it was more like pursue it as a hobby kind of thing, get to the Olympics. And that was my goal as an amateur.
What would you say, like, there was many challenges in a period of time?
There's barely any females in the UK boxing at the time. I think they used to have a training camp for the girls. London, was it Female London? What is it? This Girl Can it is now. But then it was like a London training camp, and there was only 6 of us. Like literally in the whole of thing, every Sunday we'll turn out, would just be 6 of us. But now I think there's about 60 plus females who go to it.
I feel like even in Fight for Peace, there wasn't like many girl boxers before.
Yeah.
But now we introduce more stuff like female only boxing. So like even if girls are not comfortable to come to the mixed sessions, we now have female only boxing, so they can just have their own space to like fight and everything, like however they want. I'm actually the female boxing representative.
Oh, okay.
And it's just really nice, to be honest. It's just nice to see women be comfortable and actually come out of the shell and fight instead of just like not doing anything and being scared, because boxing is considered as like a men like sport. So like I think it's just great to have like a female starting position, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, with me, I started off boxing in the mixed sessions.
Yeah.
So I got used to training with guys more than girls, because there was not really any girls in the sessions. And then after that, I found out about the female only sessions. And when I started going to those, I felt comfortable in a way, but at the same time, I realized that the training sessions in the mixed groups, they're a lot more harsh, I would say. Like they push you harder.
Intense.
Obviously, that's no one's fault. I'm just saying, like, it's a lot harder because they push you harder. With the female sessions,
it's a bit softer.
You know. Yeah. But that obviously makes sense as well.
Yeah.
But it's like,
but if we ask the coach, she would actually like push us more. It depends on the level you are.
It depends what people respond to, because not everyone responds. It's like in boxing, you have to find out what your fighter kind of responds to. Some people, if you shout at them, it switches them off. But some people, if you shout at them, it kind of turns them on, like switches them on. So you just have to find out a level about what how much you can push them.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. So tell us a little bit about your professional boxing journey so far.
So when did I start? I think I turned pro lockdown. So I think 2020 or 2021. I think I got my pro license.
Okay.
And I've had 7 fights since then. It's not the same as amateurs. I kind of miss the amateurs, I ain't gonna lie.
What do you miss about it?
Amateurs was fun. It was literally, you don't have to worry about selling tickets. You don't have to worry. There's no pressure. You don't have to worry about gaining sponsorship. It's just something you do. That's fun. You go to work and you come back in the evening. You go to boxing. You fight, and it was more enjoyable. But now it's the pros. It's a different environment. It's got nothing to do really with boxing, your talent or anything like that. It's more, you got to look at it like a business. And the way you handle things in boxing, in a pro boxing game, it has to be, everything's like business minded. So it's kind of taken the fun out of it a bit, but I still really, really enjoy it, and it's still my biggest passion.
Oh, okay, that's very interesting. Actually, I didn't know that.
It's a different ball game. I didn't know that before I started pro boxing. I wish I had. That's the thing. Only thing I think there needs to be like a bridge between the amateurs and the pros. There's no, like with football, in a football academy, you'll go from, say, playing with Manchester United as a junior and whatnot, and they'll work you all the way up till you play for the bigger team. But in the amateurs, it's, in boxing, it's like once you finish the amateurs, you're kind of just left on your own to figure it out and find out who's a good manager, who's not a good manager, find coaches. And that's the really, I think, the rubbish thing about boxing at the moment. And I think that's something that could change.
Do you think that's like something that... So you said how you really enjoyed amateurs because it was more of a hobby. Yeah. Now you view pros as more of like a career.
It's kind of like a business kind of thing.
Do you think that kind of demotivates you in any way, or like kind of makes you lose the love for the sport?
Yeah, kind of. It's been a bit up and down. Since I've turned pro, it's been a bit up and down, my feelings towards boxing. And it is because it's more like a business side, and everything you do in the pros, you have to look at it from like a business aspect of things. Is it the right business decision you're making going forward? And it did take the fun out of it, but I still really do enjoy it, and all I want to do is box. If I didn't have to deal with all of that stuff as a pro, it will make my life so much easier. But I've put so much into it. Like I've been boxing for 18 years now, and as a pro since lockdown, I think I've invested too much of my life into it, to stop. So I have to finish. I have to.
What would you say is the hardest, like, transformation you did from amateur to a professional boxer? Like, is it just the business part, like the difference of fighting, or like is there more to it?
I think it is more the business side of things. having to sell tickets, making sure that you've
Wait,
got...
do you have to sell tickets or is
Yeah.
your manager and stuff like that?
Boxer sells tickets.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
And the tickets, if you don't sell enough tickets, you don't always necessarily get to fight. It
That's
depends.
crazy. What the hell?
Yeah, because fights are not cheap. You've got to pay house fees, you've got to pay opponents' fees, you've got to pay... There's a lot of costs that get incurred per fight. So all of that has to be covered in order for you to fight.
Crazy. So
that's what takes the fun out of the
because you can't only
game.
focus on your fight and getting ready for it. You have to sell tickets, this and that, which is not even your part of the job. Do you have a manager, right?
Yeah.
So why can't they do that instead? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I really haven't got a clue, but it's in the pros, it's on the boxer to sell the tickets.
Crazy. It's actually crazy.
So I'm guessing you consider this one of the challenges you have to face as a pro fighter. Is there any other challenges you faced along your way of becoming a fighter, and how do you overcome them?
At the moment, this day and age, honestly, your social media. I'm not the greatest for social media. I'm trying to be, but you've got to really be on it and get your following up if you really want to make something this day and age in boxing.
I mean, your Insta looks good.
I know, but it's not hit 20,000 yet, so
it's gonna do it soon.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, that makes a big, massive difference in the pro game this day and age, and that kind of frustrates me as well because it's like, for me personally, all I want to do is box. I don't really care about anything else. I just want to box, go in there, do my job, and get out. But these things you have to do. Yeah.
In particular, is there anything any challenges you faced as a woman in boxing?
It's a male-dominant environment, and you kind of do feel it. Sometimes coaches and managers kind of talk down to you, or kind of a bit patronising. I feel speak to you like you don't really know anything. That's one of the things that I've faced. But yeah, you just got. If you really love sport, we just got to keep on going. And
maybe
one thing I've learned.
What?
Pardon?
Maybe you should punch them and remind them who you are.
No,
because who are they speaking to?
Go down as a criminal offence.
Aniqa, man.
Anyway, sorry, carry on.
Actually, I forgot what I was going to say now.
Sorry.
No, what was the question? What was?
You were saying how they speak down to you, but you just have to push on.
Yeah, that was one thing I learned pretty quickly as the pros. It's completely different than the amateurs. I found that it is male dominant environment, and a lot of the guys, they don't necessarily have people management skills, so they don't know how to manage adults and manage people. You can't talk to them like a kid and treat them like a kid when you're coaching them, and bearing in mind, like someone like me who's had 18 years of experience, I've got my own opinion of how I want to box and how I want to do things, and I want to have that input. So you can't just be, all right, no, I'm the coach, that's it. I'm the manager, that's it. That's how things have to be. You have to be able to communicate with your fighter. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's pretty. Sorry, the voice cracked.
It's fine.
I'm sorry, my voice is actually gone. But yeah, I think that's very important because at the end of the day, you're the one fighting. So if you're there training you, you're the one that's going to be in the ring by yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thankfully, in Fight for Peace, that you don't really see that. The coaches are very supportive to females, even if it's male coaches.
Yeah.
I feel like the only problem is when you go into a mixed class. Obviously, because it's male dominant, there's a lot of guys. There's barely any girls. Some of the guys will really look down on you.
Yeah.
Never the coaches though. They're the sweetest people ever.
Yeah.
But some of the guys, they really look down on you, and they just don't even want to spar you because they're either you're too weak or you're too fragile. You're a woman, you can't.
I know exactly that feeling. I've had that in the amateurs. I've had that in the pros. You kind of, as a female, you've got to. It's kind of you've got to earn your respect. So just go in there, do your training. If they don't want to talk to you, don't want to talk to you. It's absolutely fine. Just get on with it, and you'll gain their respect, and then they'll start saying, "Oh, hi, you're right." In the morning, start greeting you in the mornings and stuff like that, and it will change. I've had that many times. Even when I changed gyms recently, it was like that. Not recently, but was it about 2 years ago? This is exactly how it was. It's like no one would say hello to me or anything like that, and then gradually you gain a respect, and now it's like everyone's, "Oh yeah, hi Dee, hi Dee, hi Dee." So. It's just I don't think you can change it, but I personally have just accepted it. That's the way it is, and just get on with it. Really,
it's just how society works, to be honest. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay. Apart from that, would you say you had to make any sacrifices along the way? As in, say you had to come to your boxing fight, but you had something personal going on, so you had to pick and choose. Like any kind of like sacrifices like that?
There's many sacrifices you got to make for boxing. It's one big sacrifice. Your life every day of the week, even when you're not in the gym, you still got to be thinking about boxing. You've still got to be eating right, sleeping right, making sure you're looking after yourself, not getting injured. It's like it's always boxing.
Yeah, so if you get injured, your career is basically over, which is...
Depends on the type of injury.
Yeah.
If it's a serious injury, then maybe, but minor injuries, there's always ways of recovering.
Come on. Yeah,
no, it's like even... no, because even like in other sports, like say football, stuff like that, if you injure your leg, that's it for you. Like you can't play anymore because in football, the main thing is running. So that's what I meant, like...
If you got like a serious, really bad hand injury or a shoulder injury, that will put you out.
Personally speaking, I tore my ACL and my meniscus. I've had no surgery for it either, and I got back into boxing. So I didn't I did have all my days. I was like in bed for like 6 months. Yeah, I couldn't do anything. I tore in MMA, and I can't do MMA anymore. But I was like, I'm gonna still get into boxing. So that's how it all started for me.
You just have to push through it.
So I don't think it depends on the injuries.
Yeah.
100%.
But if you do really like want it, I think I saw someone with something similar happen when they were like, you won't be able to go back to that sport, but they still pushed it and they still went back into the sport. So it kind of proved everyone wrong. Like I think that's just amazing.
I mean, it's everything in your head actually. Like if you tell your brain you can do it, then you actually can do it.
100%.
But if you keep putting yourself down, you just can't do it because it's all up to you. Like you have to get up every day and then go do whatever you want. Otherwise, you're going to just stay stuck in that one spot.
Yeah, you've got to find that drive. You've got to find that drive within. That was like, that's like going back to when I was a child, and that's when I was paralysed.
Oh.
What was it? Yeah, 9, 10, 14, 15 years old.
How did that happen?
To this day, they still don't know. I don't know. I was actually taking part in an Interborough Championship, so I was running the 1,500 metre race, and halfway through, I did feel a bit ill, but I've never been like ill, like fainted or anything before that, so I don't really know what the feeling was. So, but one thing about me, I didn't want to faint or drop down during the race because everyone will think maybe she can't handle the race. So that's what I was more worried about, my pride. So I was like, I don't give a I can't swear, sorry, but I need to get over the finish line. That's all I said to myself. I don't know what's going to happen afterwards, but I just need to cross the line. So that's what I did. I literally stepped over the finish line and then I blacked out. And then I woke up in hospital and then I couldn't walk. Like I tried to jump off the bed because I was confused. I was running 1 minute and then I woke up in hospital and I jumped off the bed and that was it. My legs weren't working. And it took about 1.5 years for me to get back walking fully.
Damn.
But the doctors, they never did find out what it was. They just said it's like something called conversion syndrome where your brain just disassociates a part of your body for what reason, I don't know. But that was the hardest thing because the doctor said to me, they didn't know what was wrong with me, but they said I'll probably never walk again. But I was like, nah.
But
I was only 14, 15. I was thinking that, what am I going to do? Sit down for the rest of my life? That's boring. I need to do something. So I made sure that I got up and walked again. So if you really want something bad enough, you've just got to keep going. You got to push through, 100%.
I mean, this might be like a bit of like a sensitive question, but since that happened to you, are you ever scared that it might happen again?
Honestly, I was. That's why I started going gym and doing weights, especially with my legs, to make sure my legs are so strong that I will never be in that position again, that I can't walk again. Yeah, that was scary. I ain't gonna lie, that was the worst time of my life. Yeah.
If someone told me I couldn't walk anymore, I don't know what I would do, guys. Honestly, I don't know. I really would.
At first, you kind of think, oh my gosh, and you'll cry and whatnot, but then it's like, I can't. Like I said, I'm quite active. I was thinking, what am I going to do? Sit down for like the next 60, 70 years of my life doing what? So I was like, no, I need to get up and do something.
And you did that. Slay.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, that's what I did as well when I like tore my meniscus and like it was so hard. Oh my god.
And painful, wasn't it?
It was so painful. And I remember they were all telling me, like all the doctors were telling me that like even after surgery you cannot get back into MMA. You can't do it because you're gonna risk like tearing it again. And it's like I was like, what? So I decided not to get the surgery. I was like, I'm just not gonna do it. So I didn't get the surgery, and they just said, if you can get your legs strong enough, then you can do boxing, but you can't do MMA. So I was like, you know what, okay. So I kept going to the gym, getting my legs stronger, and then I got back to boxing. But I can never like go back to MMA again, which is so sad. But
At least you still get to do some sort.
Yeah,
At least
I was
you
not.
still
I
get
was
to
not gonna have
box.
that. I was like laying there. I was like, I'm not gonna have.
When you're active, laying down, it's like I don't know what to do. Like it's boring.
It's so boring.
There's only so much TV you can watch or scrolling you can do. And
Literally. Yeah.
So you said you were paralyzed like at 14, 15, right?
Yeah.
So at such a young age, how do you like bounce back? Because I know that's like traumatic, right?
Yeah.
So how do you even mentally get through it?
For me, because I've got quite a lot of brothers and sisters, and I know when I was in hospital away from this, the first time I was away from my family, I desperately wanted to get back with them, and like there were so many stories, I just felt like I was missing out, so I definitely wanted to be running around again. There was many times that I actually thought that no one would heard me crying, but I used to cry myself to sleep.
Oh.
But like nurses, one time I looked at my notes and the nurses report said, yeah, she cried herself to sleep tonight. She cried herself. I was like, oh my gosh, I thought no one heard me. But it was hard. But one thing I knew, like I wanted to get back home with my brothers and sisters, and I wanted to be running around with them again. And like I said, I did not want to be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. I couldn't see myself just in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. It just didn't make sense to me. From who I was very, very active, very hyperactive child. So it was like, there's no way. Every day I pushed myself and pushed myself and pushed myself. I didn't, and I believe that if they couldn't give me an actual solid diagnosis, then they couldn't really know that, yeah, I'll never be able to walk again. So I'll push myself until I do. I was determined.
So you just trained and trained and trained and trained.
Yeah, every day I had intense physio for like a year. Intense physio every single day, every morning, and OT every single day. It was painful, it was hard, but just had to push through it.
Okay, so tell us more. Like, what does your full week of training look like?
My full week of training?
Yeah, like step by step. Tell us everything.
So Monday I have strength and conditioning, which is what I had this morning. And then maybe I'll go for a run or something. Or if not, I don't do the run on Monday, then Tuesday I'll go for a long run and kind of have that as a little bit of a rest day. Then Wednesday I have my boxing training. Thursday is boxing training in the morning and strength and conditioning in the afternoon. Friday is boxing in the morning and Saturday is boxing. And Sunday is normally just a long run or rest.
So do you like running? Like a lot? Like,
it's not my favourite thing. I've run so much over the years, but you have to as a boxer. But I've run so much over the years. I don't really enjoy it sometimes. It's not the most favourite part of the training, but you have to run as a boxer. Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking like I think there's a big difference between the training of an amateur and a pro.
Yeah.
So I was gonna ask like, how did you transition from an amateur to a pro fighter? Like, was it hard for you?
Like, did you have to add in more workouts?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It was because of work. Because at the time when I first started as a pro, I was working in Warburton's. So that's like I was working in the carpet department, and it's like 12-hour shifts, and you're on your feet on the go for 12 hours straight. So training after that was hard. And I was noticed when my first year as a pro, I was getting a lot of injuries with my legs, like tears in my hamstrings, my quads, because my legs were just overworked. So that's when I had to make a change from my career outside working wise, so I can make sure that I have enough energy and no injuries with boxing.
Sounds tough. Sounds really tough.
It is. The amateurs, like I said, amateurs is more set. It's Monday, majority of gyms, Monday, Wednesday, Friday evenings, maybe between 5:30, 7:30, the sessions start. So it's more manageable. You go, well, them times when I first started, I was going to college and whatnot, or even working, you do what you need to do in a day. And then there's 3 times a week that you have to be down at the boxing gym. And then whatever you do on top of that, that's off your own accord. But with the pros, you're in the gym if you're fighting 5-6 days a week, and you have to be there 6 days a week, and it's trying to squeeze everything in. Like I've got strength and conditioning, and you've got your boxing session, and you've got to squeeze in the running. It kind of takes its toll, so you get really, really, really tired. But you've got to find a job that works around the boxing, rather than the boxing working around the job. Because you're training like 6 days a week when you're in camp. Whereas amateurs, you're like 3 days a week. You're in the gym, and other than that, it's what you choose to do other than that.
So do you still have another job?
Yeah, At the moment, yeah. I haven't made enough from pro boxing yet.
How many hours do you do? Is it like still exhausting?
So I'm down. I work 3 days a week at the moment. It's Wednesday evening, Friday evening, and Saturday morning. So it's not. It doesn't sound like much, but it's difficult when it comes down to training with the traveling and everything like that. It's hard.
All I can think about now is that when you're out, like, you probably got this a lot. When someone finds out that you're like a professional fighter, especially a guy, and they just like, they definitely ask you like, so can you beat me in a fight? Like,
yeah, I get that all the time.
They always say that. Oh my god, it's so funny.
Guys always say that all the time.
Oh yeah, they really do.
Oh, would you beat me up? I'm like, why would I just randomly just beat you up? I'm not a psycho, I'm a boxer. Like,
that's so funny. Yeah, no, that literally happens all the time.
I just had an image in my head. I can imagine you in your workplace and you're just shadow boxing.
Oh, I do
and
that.
then your
I work in the gym on the reception anyway, but yeah, I do. I shadow box everywhere. Even sometimes when I'm just in my own world at the bus stop, I start and I'm like, put your hands down. Anyway, it just randomly you're thinking of combinations and that, and then you just start throwing your arms, and it just happens.
I was going to ask you about like weight cutting. Like how does that because I think with the amateurs, I don't know if you do that with amateurs, weight cutting. I mean, if you do competitor, you do, I guess.
Yeah.
But with pros, is it like the same, or like how hard is it to like cut weight, and what do you do?
It depends what weight you're cutting from and going to. I know when I was an amateur, they believed that you should always walk around a stone heavier than your fight weight. So then whenever I was cutting, it was always cutting a stone. I think in the amateurs, it was harder to cut weight actually because you don't actually get any advice from anyone. Like my coach, a lot of the coaches were old school. And then some of them even, I know they didn't mean it, but it was like, oh, just don't eat. Like, just stop, don't eat. Make the weight, just don't eat. But you don't really get much nutritional advice as an amateur. And I think that's kind of the problem. So making weight, some of the ways I made weight in the amateurs is not the greatest way because I didn't know what I was doing. So sometimes I did just not eat or just eat salads and stuff like that. But then I realized after a while it started making me sick. But as a pro, you have nutritionists or you have other people who've had nutritionists who've got more advice, who give you more advice. So cutting weight, it makes cutting weight a lot easier as a pro actually, rather than an amateur. Yeah.
Would you not have like, because I was always thinking about that, like people when they cut weight, they like don't eat as much. Would you not have no energy for your fight? Like literally none.
You don't, like I said, what I was doing, just eating salads. That's when you get to the fight, you have no energy, and that was the wrong way to do it. You actually have to eat in order to cut weight because when your body knows that it's going to be fed consistently, then it doesn't need to hold anything. But when you cut meals and starve, so you're under eating, you actually hold whatever you're eating, it holds. So when I was trying to eat 3 salads a day, I was holding water or whatever was in the salad, and I didn't understand. I was like, how can I not lose weight? I'm just eating salad. I'm running, I'm training, but my body went into starvation mode. So when it goes into starvation mode, it doesn't matter what you eat, you're going to hold that weight or put on weight. And then I started eating and then the weight started falling off. And I was like, so I could have been eating all this time. I was doing it backwards. So to lose weight, you have to eat properly. So your body doesn't go into starvation mode. And that's the way you will maintain the weight or cut the weight healthily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting to be fair. So would you think it's more challenging as a woman to cut weight rather than as a man?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Definitely.
Okay.
I know how that. The question sounded a bit funny, but I know what you mean. I can't speak from a man's point of view, but from what I've seen and heard, I believe it is so much easier for men to cut weight. They can cut so many kilos in a week, whereas as a woman, we hold a lot more water and need a lot more water, and we need a slightly higher percentage of body fat to function properly. So it is more difficult when it comes to cutting weight for the females, unfortunately. Especially when it gets to that time of the month, that's when you put on a little bit of water. So I know I put on 2 kilos of water. So then I have to watch the amount of water I'm drinking if I'm due close to my fight. It all plays a massive part. So I put on 2 kilos of water on that week. But I know that once I come off, then I'm going to at least drop 2 kilos, and then I can flush the rest of the water weight out. Yeah, it gets you'll learn. It gets a bit complicated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's gaining and losing.
Yeah. So if you I don't know, when you get to that time of your month, if you weigh yourself nearer, you'll see you put on weight, or you might feel a bit heavier, and then towards the end of your cycle, you will drop like maybe up to 2 kilos. Some girls drop up to 5 kilos, but it's all water weight. So it's kind of timing your cycle and everything. And you've got to know your body. You've got to really understand your body if you want to drop weight healthily. Yeah.
So you basically have listed like everything you need to eat in a day as well, right? Like a planned meal prep and everything, right? So I actually want to know what you eat. Like
I get whatever I start eating at camp that works. I just eat the same thing throughout the whole camp. It gets boring, but it's just easier. Like the last camp, I was eating a lot of like chicken and rice and vegetables.
Plain chicken and rice.
Nah, at the beginning no, but towards the end, when you're getting closer to the fight week, then you cut down the sugars, you cut out sugar, you cut down the carbs, you cut out the salt, because that all makes you hold water. So you're trying to get rid of as much water as possible. So you cut out the seasoning, and then it gets a bit plain the last 2 weeks before the fight. But before then, no way.
Wait, so do you get to have, like, if you're craving like junk food, do you have like here and there, or like
not during camp?
Okay, but like
no. You're just making your life harder if you do that. It's like you got to weigh yourself every morning. You don't ever want to see it go up. So just cut all the fats out. We have healthy fats, no saturated fats. So you can have like avocado and like chicken breast with chicken skins and stuff like that. But chocolates and burgers, leave that out, because we're going to make it harder to burn the calories. But if you have the healthy fats, low carbs, high protein, that's the easiest way. And about 3 liters of water a day, that's the easiest way I find to cut weight. And I still feel strong by doing it that way.
Okay. So say your fight is due and you're on your period. Like, does it balance you off? Like, it just comes out of nowhere. So like, you don't really know what to do.
Mine, so especially for the amateurs, not so much in the pros, but mine just used to come on even when it wasn't even due, which was frustrating. I could be on like a week or 2 weeks before, and I don't know if it was because of nerves or something, but that I would come on. So then it became a thing that I had to flush the water out. So then I drink more water than I usually would drink. I normally drink about 2-3 liters, but I'll increase that to about 4 liters, which means that I flush the extra water out, because your body's like, well, I don't need this extra water, so it just gets rid of all the water, and that's how I manage my weight when I'm on close to my fight.
What about like because with me, I'm very like, I get so tired, especially when I'm on my period. I'm so tired. I have no energy. Like, I take supplements, but it doesn't really help. Does that ever happen to you? Like,
I think I do get tired, but I just go on autopilot. I just push through the session. Obviously, you don't do as great in like say boxing the session wise, but in fight circumstances, I find it doesn't make a difference. You have so much adrenaline going through you. You get through the fight. You don't feel that tiredness or anything. It's just the training bit. You might sometimes, or sparring, you might feel a bit sluggish or that sometimes. But in the fight, it never really actually affected me during the fight.
What are some key things you think are needed to engage like more women and give girls in sport and keep them engaged?
I think there's quite a lot going on for women in boxing. I think maybe they need to see me. I don't know. I just feel. Oh, that's a hard question, to be honest. I'm not really too sure. I personally think that the standard of boxing, it needs to go up a bit, so more technical, like especially in the pros, because it has come along. Women's boxing has come along. If you watch the pro boxing or female boxing from say early 2000s or something, it was really, really scrappy, and it was just like two women on the street. Instead of fighting on the street, they're fighting in the ring. But now it is more technical, and I feel like the more technical that women become in boxing, I think it will gauge a wider range and encourage more women to get into it as well.
Yeah, so the more women they see, that like they're gonna feel more encouraged to come in.
Yeah.
I just feel like as long as they are welcomed, then they're definitely gonna come in. If you have a coach that like looks down on you and says you're a woman, like you can't do this and that, like you're not on the same level as a man, then of course you're gonna like push back and like not gonna feel welcomed and like go through. So if you have a good coach and a good place to go to, 100% you're gonna feel welcomed, and like they're gonna definitely feel engaged. Because even with me, like the coaches we have, like they're so supportive, and like I'm just glad, to be honest. Otherwise, I don't think I would have been here.
I know it is, being a female walking into a gym, especially when it's like loads of guys in there, it is a bit daunting. But I think a lot of women have got into it. Like I said, when I first started, there was only about 6 women in a training camp that I was doing a month, and now there's 60 plus. So it is definitely building, and more women are starting to do it and enjoy it. I don't really know what else can be done to get women into it, to be honest. I think maybe just actually the more respect in the game, a bit more respect in the game, like in the pros and the amateurs. I think that would draw women more towards it, because I find it is hard as a female navigating your way through the program. It's a male-dominated environment, and they do kind of sometimes make you feel very feminine and make you know that you are a female. But I like to be respected, and I see we're equal. I'm a boxer, you're my coach, or I'm a boxer, he's a boxer. We don't see it as she's a female, I'm a female, he's a male. We're just boxers. So just treat us equally and respectfully, and I think more women will be more inclined to get into it.
Yeah, sorry, my voice is actually no. I agree with that. I feel like most of the guys, they're just some of the people I've boxed with.
Yeah,
their egos are really high, and they're always just like they either like hit too hard, like try show off that they're they're better than you, and it's like, bro, like I'm literally a girl, like
just a girl,
just a girl. Like no, because they know that they are obviously stronger than you. But they have this like urge to prove it to you for some reason. Yeah,
I know. I've had that.
And I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
but you gotta just hit them hard. If you want their respect, just hit them just as hard as they hit you, and they're like, okay, maybe she can actually bang. Like, she's a boxer.
I was just gonna ask what stereotypes you'd like to break for women in boxing.
That women can't fight, or women's boxing is not as technical as men's. I think those are the main ones that I want to break, because from what I see and what I do, we're just as good. And especially these days, the technical ability has gone up so much, and women's boxing is really interesting to watch and fun. There's loads of knockouts now, and it's come along a lot.
What would you say to your younger self? As in, like, if you look back and see your experience, like, what would you say to yourself?
I think I would kind of focus more. Even though I was boxing from 16, I was kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde personality. So I knew that I wanted to achieve something in my life and do something with my life, but at the same time I was going through a lot, so I was still kind of misbehaving, getting in trouble, getting into fights on road and doing this road thing and all of that. So I was still going to college. Knew that just in case I do make it, I need to have an education or something behind me, but then I'll go out and do a whole load of silly little things. So I think I would tell myself I would focus more, and instead of wasting my youth, like my late teen years and early 20s, I would like partying and raving and doing this and doing that. I would actually focus and use that time and energy that I had then to put it into something like a career, rather than just being young and dumb. Yeah.
Would you say your lifestyle that you had shaped you the way you are now, or like do you say you would like change it to become a better person?
My lifestyle definitely shaped how I am now. It's made me a lot stronger, and it's made me more aware of myself, my emotions, how to act in certain situations. Like I said, I used to have quite a bad temper. As I've grown older, that's made me, like, it doesn't work in every environment or any environment. Even a boxing environment, your anger, temper doesn't work. It's controlled aggression. Try being angry in a ring, you're just going to get beat up. But if you control it into controlled aggression, then you'll be able to focus it and actually get the job done. So I would focus more, and I wouldn't have wasted so much time just being a kid kind of thing. Yeah, definitely wouldn't have. And I would advise the younger generation, instead of, I know, like, when you're young, you want to go out partying, raving, this, that, and the other. It's absolutely fine, but do it in moderation. Focus more on your studies and focus more on building a career. Because when I was younger, I could go out, I know this is boxing, but I could go out drinking all night, and I could get up in the morning, go to college, go boxing, go work, and do it all again. I cannot do that now. If I'd done that, I might not be going boxing or something for like 2-3 days. And that's when I realised, with all that energy I had as a youth, I could have used that and put it into something, and I would be somewhere now. but it gets harder as you get older. But that's one thing I would definitely tell my younger self and younger generation: focus and use your youth for better than just partying.
So I was gonna ask, with like holidays,
Yeah,
because you obviously go on holidays, don't like?
not really. Me personally, no. I'm not in the most financially greatest place to be going on holidays, and then it would depend on fight dates as well, because obviously I'll be in camp and whatnot. But me personally, I don't have many holidays.
Okay, well, from like ever since you started boxing, let's say, to now, when you went to holidays and then obviously you didn't train, you came back. Was it easy for you to get back into the sport after you haven't done it for a while?
Depends how long I went on holiday for. Normally, when I go on holiday, I do train a bit, but not as much. So when I come back, I'm not completely unfit. But taking time out of boxing, it's always hard to get back into boxing specifically. It's easier just to go back and get into weights. Like, you're just pumping weights. It's not nothing that's really working your cardio system. But it takes maybe, say, a week or 2 weeks to get that fitness back up and get that comfortable level back up. Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
Thank you. I was just interested in that.
I feel like everybody deserves a break. So like, even if you're like a boxer and like you don't really have time and this and that, maybe you can go like to another country for like, for example, like Morocco, this and that. It's like close by, right? Like from London for where we live. So like, flight is gonna be like £20 or like £40, yeah. So like, go in the weekend, like stay 2 days and come back. Honestly, trust me.
I'll have a look at
it's cheap. I would know.
Thanks for the advice.
No, but I'm just saying, I think everybody deserves a break.
No, I know what you mean. No, you're right about that, because sometimes I do get a bit overwhelmed because I'm just going. But it's the only reason I do is because, like I said, financially, I'm not really in a position to I feel, take a holiday. Every penny I make, I literally put into my boxing. But I probably would. I will take your advice. I will take your advice.
You should. It's not just Morocco, there's like other countries. Oh, no.
Okay.
Guys, wait, hear me out.
You can give me a list afterwards. Can you help me book the flights as well?
Saying, like, even like within UK, like there's places UK. Okay, I'll stop there, guys. So you said that if you were like, you would go back to your younger self and be like, to train or like stay locked in, basically.
Yeah.
So what would you say is like the benefits of like locking in and like seeing the straight path instead of like going to parties and this and that? Like, what's the benefits of boxing for young women?
Obviously the main one's health benefits. It gives you confidence. It gives you discipline. So even sometimes, like, I know people have weight management issues, but with boxing, it teaches you how to be more disciplined in your eating, even, because you know sometimes you have cravings and whatnot. Yeah, it gives you that discipline. Like I said, for me personally, it helped me with my temper, manage my anger, and just give me, like I said, give me something to focus on, really. Give me something to focus on, and I enjoy boxing, and I've always wanted to be able to give back. That's one thing in boxing, because you have in amateurs, you have the senior sessions and junior sessions, and sometimes they cross over. So the juniors finish first, and then like they'll still be kind of around when the seniors are starting, and they really do look up to you, and that's a beautiful feeling, a nice feeling. They want to be like the senior boxers, and that's a really nice feeling to have. So then you want to become someone so you can give back to them, because they really look up to you, and it gives you that confidence, and makes you, maybe if you was like a bit more timid before, it makes you feel like, yeah, no, I am someone. There is someone who looks up to me, and I can really do something with not just boxing, but with my life.
I mean, with like young people now, I feel like a lot of them are, obviously like out and about on the streets or doing things that are, not meant to be done. How would you say, because this is all like a mindset that you have, because obviously you've been boxing, and everyone that boxes, they kind of understand. But the people that don't, and the people that are like on the streets, let's say, how would you try and get them to, start this journey? Because you said it teaches you a lot of things, and I feel like a lot of people should be getting into it so that they get out of the bad things and into the more good things. Yeah. What would you say
to get them into it?
Yeah.
How I got into it, I'll probably get them into it. They can do a session and just blast them through it. Because that's how I was literally thrown in at the deep end. The first session I had, it was literally, I couldn't actually do press-ups until 16 years old, until I walked into a boxing gym. And like I said, I was the only female in there at the time. And I done 10. I couldn't believe it. But it was because there was all boys in there, but it was all getting punished at the same time. And I didn't want to be the one who can't do press-ups. So I don't know where it came from, but I just banged out 10 press-ups. And I was like, oh my gosh, I done press-ups. And the first time I went in there, I sparred as well. I did one of the greatest sparring. I sparred some Irish boy, and it turned into a fight. But one thing, we both ended up getting thrown out of the ring. But one thing it did teach me the first day I ever walked into the boxing gym was then I'm actually stronger than I realised, both physically and mentally. And that then kind of started the journey for me. And I'm like, I like this because I actually started learning about myself and discovering about myself. Because like I said, I never knew I could do one press. I couldn't do one press up, I thought. And then I banged out 10. And I was like, oh, how did that happen? So just, I would get them in one of the sessions and just blast them, push them to their limit. And they'll realise, you know what, I'm actually stronger than I think I am. And hopefully that will spark the interest, even if they don't carry on just boxing, but in other things, branching off, they can do other things that they realise, if I can do this that I couldn't do before, then maybe what I was going to do, that I wanted to do, I've always dreamed of doing, maybe I can actually reach that target, and their focus then become on that. So I find, I'm not 100% sure, but I feel a lot of the younger generation, they're a little bit lost and have a little bit of confidence issues when it comes to actually pursuing their dreams or what they feel they want to do. That's what I feel with the younger generation. Just need a bit of a confidence boost.
I mean, a great quote, guys, that I saw. It's actually my favorite quote, but it's like you never know like the value of something until you lose it. And I feel like that like motivated me so much throughout like my whole journey, especially when I tore my ACL, because I lost the ability to like walk for like 6 months, and I was like, I'm gonna die now. But then again, I was like, you know, I like lost it, and then I didn't realize how important it was to me. And so when I got back into it, I was like really pushing myself. But I feel like the younger generation, bro. I'm acting like young, bro.
You're not that old. You're not reaching my age yet. You can't say that yet. You're talking about toddlers.
Sorry guys, I mean like people my age. They're a bit lost, and I feel like they really do need that like push or motivation. But it's just like a mental challenge that they need to get over. I just don't know how, because even like some of my friends, they're kind of in that boat now, and I'm trying to motivate them as much as I can, but it's just like it doesn't work.
I think the pressures as well with social media. I didn't have that pressure growing up with social media. We just about had MSN come out when I was probably 13, 14, and that was a way of communication. But I think for you guys, it is harder because of social media, and a lot of the younger generation, they feel like they have to live up to those standards. But on socials, it's not necessarily a depiction of actual life.
100%.
Yeah, so I think that kind of plays a massive part. But I think they just need to get stuck into something, find something they enjoy doing, and focus on it. Because I had my nephew was kind of going down the wrong path, but he's found something that he really, really enjoys. I tried boxing and everything. He didn't warm to boxing. That's absolutely fine, but he likes cars, so he's into mechanics. So that's now from boxing, finding a focus. He's going into mechanics, trying to get the mechanics apprenticeship because he's 16 now. So it's helped. It's helped a lot. Yeah.
With that being said,
thank you for being here.
I think you should give yourself a pat on the back.
So that's it.
Yeah, I think you should give yourself a pat on the back because everything
thank
you've
you.
been through. No, seriously, everything you've been through, especially like when you were 14, 15.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do right now if I went through that. Like, that's really tough.
I appreciate
and
that.
especially mentally getting back, and now you're a professional boxer. That's just like I look up to you now. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that.
With that being said, we have a gift for you. Bring it out.
Ooh. Oh.
We got your 5-piece t-shirt.
Oh, thank you.
However, we did only have an extra large. It's an extra
That's
large.
absolutely fine. No, it's absolutely fine.
But you know, it's red. Lovely color.
I say you should wear it right now.
Right.
It's gonna. I'm wearing red and blue.
Yeah, it's gonna match perfectly.
Okay. Red, it's gonna match perfectly. I should have put some red on my crepes though. There we go. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Your hood. She got a look.
Trying to fix everything. Is that better?
You look amazing. Suits you perfectly.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You're one of us now.
Thank you.
Honestly, I can't lie. It actually suits you. Like the
Thank
red
you.
is making you glow. I can see it.
Thanks, guys. And I really appreciate you having me on.
Of course.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming. We had an amazing time. What about you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely,
great.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay, with that being said, this is where the podcast ends, sadly.
sadly,
But it was great having you.
Thanks for having me on.
we can have more conversations. Maybe after this.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe
We
after
talk
this.
about Morocco.
So we're going to end it here, guys. You've been listening to Lutapod, the podcast that proves sport isn't just for the boys.
And if you didn't know that by now,
You definitely do now.
Okay, so we're gonna end up with one last question to you and the audience.
So you have one shout heard by everyone on earth. What do you scream?
Like one advice.
So everyone's listening. Do you know what I mean? You have one shout.
There's two that I'm trying to pick, but they have confidence and believe in yourself.
Okay.
That
We
would
can take
be.
two. We can take two.
Sorry. I would have to just say it really fast.
Okay, we'll just make sure to say that really fast. And everyone else, make sure to answer that question in the comments.
Comment down below and stay tuned for the next episode. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.